Every country has their own signature rice dish, and these are a few of my favorites. Louisiana for that jambalaya. Going to West Africa for that jollof rice. Hitting you with China with that congee. Bringing you to Spain with that delicious toasty paella. Let's go. One of my favorite rice dishes that I think gets overlooked completely is jambalaya. I'm mashing up Cajun and Creole. I'm putting a little bit of tomatoes into my jambalaya. It's just what I do. It's how I was raised eating it. I never thought there was an issue until I met him.
Tomatoes Creole.
Tomatoes Creole.
Yeah.
You hear that? Cajun is none of it.
No.
So I'm just gonna make him mad, but he's gonna be the first person to eat it today. Okay? That guy. Bon temps. You heard the guy. Creole is what I'm doing. Cajun is my flavor profile. I'm using 2 cups of basmati rice. Why? Jambalaya, long grain rice all day. Gotta wash it. If you don't wash your rice, you probably don't wash other things. You wanna wash your rice at least 3 or 4 times because we're getting rid of all that clingy starchiness. Cleaner cook, it won't get gummy on you. It took me years to learn how to cook rice. Look at that, clear. Remember at the beginning? Look at that. Now it's clear. Ragin' Cajun andouille. You can get several different spiciness out of it. I go for medium because I don't want to kill people. I want my kids to eat this. I have bone-in chicken thighs. Let's season what Tony sees. Great on popcorn, great in life. Makes for even better deodorant. It's Creole seasoning, so it has everything you need. Cool thing about Louisiana is like all their cooking is a cultural mashup of like French, African, and the people that settled there. Medium high heat, we're just doing a sear. Let these go for about 3 to 4 minutes just to get that skin dark. It's time for the most important part to all Cajun Creole cookery. It's their answer to the mirepoix. It's called the Trinity. Onions, green bell pepper, and celery. Why do they always use this? To build up flavors. I don't like doing dishes at all, so if I can deglaze and scrape off fond, I will definitely do it. What do you do next, chef? You season it. Nice little sprinkle, little black peppy. Normally, there's this thing called tasso ham that is native to Louisiana. I can't find that in my region, so therefore we're using the regular country ham. Drop it in there. Stir, stir, stir. Oh gosh, I wish you could smell this. Bay leaf time. Also one of the most important things in Creole cooking. Why bay? The flavor you can't beat, man. It makes you feel like you're at home. Your Trinity has softened. We're going in with that dewey. As soon as it hits the pan, you can smell it. It's smoky, it's spicy. Same seasoning that's in Tony C's. Same smell as Shay. We're gonna hit our spices real fast. Oregano, cayenne. You gotta kick it up a notch, man. Uh-oh, this is the end of my paprika. If I'm gonna get that charred, like wood flavor profile, that andouille and this paprika. Paprika is practically making a roux, which is a great little tip when you make shrimp bisque. This is where people get like mad. They don't want tomatoes in their stuff. Do I care? Hand squished. Most important way to do it. I'm going for like a burnt sienna color here. You don't know what that is? I'm a painter, so I know my colors. Add that juice. Look at that. All that screams Creole. Ooh, it's kicking. Let's squeeze some tomato paste in there. You want about 1 tablespoon. It's time to go in with our rice that we washed. Shout out to JJ in Harlem, teaching people how to cook rice. Get them all. I've worked for restaurants where if you drop 1 grain, they take it out of your check. That's called life in America, chefs. Look at that, though. This is gorgeous. Chicken goes back in. Dude, this is fire. I'm so good at cooking. It's disgusting. Chicken stock, you can use veg stock. I won't be mad at you. We're gonna try and bring this to a simmer. Main reason I'm doing that simmer is to make sure my chicken stays moist, the rice gets snuggly and gets to know the ingredients, right? You notice I didn't like sear my sausage, I kind of just threw it in with everything. I like my sausage to be kind of juicy. The ham's gonna get to know the rice, it's gonna hold onto that grain. Oh my God. We're gonna cover it, 325 oven, about 15 minutes. Trust me on this, I know it's scary to put it in the oven, but it works. We don't wanna burn it. The oven's all around. This is just bottom. We don't need that. Take care of your rice, okay? Take care of your head, take care of your rice. I love you. All right, you can hear it. You don't want to peek at it yet. We gotta let this sit for at least 15 minutes. If you can't wait, that's on your vibe. Wow. If we had to cook this on top of the stove, it would have burned all the stuff at the bottom. One pot in the oven Everything just nestles together and they hang out and they're like, oh, you should cook at this temperature. Look at that. The rice grain, oh my God. This is the best one I've made. I'm super happy the way the rice came out. Look at this. Wipe me down. I wanted the perfect blend of fluff to where you could still see the grains, kind of soggy, and I want it to have some texture. I think I hit it right on the nail. Okay? Oh yeah. Just came to mess with this guy. He knows everything Cajun.
Very fluffy.
Come on now. Come on now. Boom. Wipe me down. Told you, man.
Excellent,
I
chef.
do this for the people, by the people, chef. Thought you knew, son. Thank you. Told you. One more down. Let's go. This is jambalaya, and it's real, truest fashion. Let's go to Africa. Right now. Next up, jollof rice. Celebration time, baby! Jollof rice. It is about a celebration. This is one of the best rice dishes ever. It's a different grain, different story. Like we made the Trinity, in this version, we have chilies, we have ginger, we have red onion, we have tomato. There's a thing called Jollof Wars. You can look it up on the internet. 1 knob of ginger, straight into a blender. There's t-shirts about which region cooks the best jollof. All right, I'm doing 3 red bells for sweetness. Scotchy Bonnie. This is gonna add that fruity, spicy, delicious, kind of like a habanero almost. This has more flavor. We need 1 red onion, 1 can of tomatoes, whole, peeled, the juice of the tomato to give me a smoother puree. Let's go on medium. Let's go high! It's so good, dude. It's tangy. I gotta eat this as a soup. We need 3 really thinly sliced onions. The onions are kind of like the texture of the dish almost. It's a very fluffy rice, very fiery rice, but the onions bring a sweetness and a crunch. Deli containers, look at that. That's me, mama, I did it, mama, I did it, that's me. Quart containers, deli containers, very important. Why? It just teaches people proper measurements, it keeps you clean, and it keeps all your ingredients together. Say it with me, mise en place means everything in its place. What are we doing next, Roscoe? The most important part of the dish and the most important technique of the dish. What is it? Wash your rice. Jasmine, another long grain, fragrant when it cooks, poppy when it bites. About 3 tablespoons of palm oil. A lot of issues over this. Don't come at me. It's in everything. That's why it's deforestation, not because people are cooking traditional recipes for it. The flavor is floral, it has a high smoke point, and it's great for sauteing. It's great for making cakes out of even. Anyway, let's caramelize some onions. We wanna cook them down. Cook these down for a while. It's gonna add some sweetiness. That spicy sofrito that we made. I'm gonna throw a little salt in here. A lot of people look down upon salt when it comes to West African recipes because they don't use a lot of salt. See how pretty that is? Palm oil, dude. I'm gonna take some of these out. I like to fold these back in later. This is about a 15-minute low heat cook. I want a little burnt on it though. Curry leaves, international grocery store. Garlic, I'm not even doing anything to it. Turmeric, we're gonna do a tablespoon. Paprika, 2 tablespoons, let's go. Stir it up, kind of like toasting the spices. This is about a quart. We're gonna do about 3 cups. You wanna reduce this a little bit. In college, we'd take off our shirt and cook bacon to see who could stand over there and like let it hit them and like handle it. Like, come on, come on, come on. You can do that with jollof. Yeah, I don't wanna mess up my clothes, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking smooth today. We're gonna reduce by a 1/3. I want more flavor out of that base. Bouillon cube, okay? Adds the best savory deliciousness ever. I'm doing 2. Dry thyme, I got that African thyme. International market, more floral, not so pungent, not so peppery. In goes the rice. Washed rice just cooks faster also, just letting you know. You already know this is gonna be good. Look at that little curry leaf. Ah, thank you. It turns into not a sauce. I mean, we're basically making red rice, a Charleston favorite. You see how they're all connected? Let's go add some water. You don't want a lot of water because that tomato is your liquid base. Very similar to Spanish rice. You cook within a broth and a tomato finish. Let's get this to a boil. We're gonna cover it for about 20 minutes. You're gonna take it off the heat, let it sit for another 10. It's a lot of sitting. You gotta be careful with your rice dishes because we're going for fluff. We don't want no mush. Number 1 thing about jollof, don't peek. Trust me, trust your rice, trust yourself. It's been 20 minutes. Turn off the heat. Don't peek. Don't peek, bruh. Let it sit. Relax. Go do something. 15 minutes. Jollof. Wow. Fluff. Oh, I'm seeing that all that base got into every grain. The rice cooked perfectly. How'd we get here? Patience. Oh my God. Nutty, fragrant, fruity, spice bomb from that base. We got a little crust on the bottom. The grain is still popping and full of fluff. I can chew it. Are you kidding me? This dish was all about celebration. Next up, we're gonna celebrate ourselves. We're going to China. Congee. A rice porridge. It's soothing, comforting, gingery, kind of salty from the chicken broth. It's delicious. One of the best dishes ever. I'm not even gonna tell you what I'm doing. You should know by now. The thing about this dish is you want a longer grain rice because it's a longer cook time. Basmati works. I saw a lot of recipes with basmati, but I'm using jasmine for its fragrancy. Ginger. I'm using the ginger as flavor, but it's also gonna be something you eat. Congee. A lot of people do it when they're sick. I don't really. I eat congee like a lot of times at restaurants, but usually when it's cold, rainy, fall vibes, treat it like chili vibes. Bring this to a boil, reduce the heat, cover it. Cook this for an hour, very, very slow. The longer this cooks, the more that grain pops and folds over on itself and kind of flattens out. The most fun part about congee is all that garnish. I'm gonna saute some shrooms. I got my scallions cut already, and I got a bunch of fun stuff that I'll show you when we plate up. You guys ever do this? A little haka, haka, haka? Scoring your shrooms, for one, will boost up the cooking time because it's such a big stem shroom. It's a trumpet. It's a technique that doesn't really mean much, but it's beautiful and it's classic. Yo, congee time. Wow. It smells so good. You still got broth coming through. That ginger's gonna be soft. Garnish town. We will do shroomies. Dang, I wish you could smell this. The ginger pop. We blew it up with this one. Oh my God. You wanna eat one of the best things you've ever eaten? Try this recipe for real. I eat that every day. As you can see, I'm super cozy. I could go to sleep right now, but next up, we're going to Spain. We're making paella, baby. Spanish paella, very similar to jambalaya, with a hint of the jollof vibes. Paella is a fast dish. I love this dish because it's quick. Finally, we're in short grain town, Valencia. If you just season them and toast them and add a little bit of liquid, they turn over like a popcorn and go. Let's party. Paella pan, very important. You want a thin aluminum pan. I gotta get it crunchy in order to make it delicious. If it's a thin pan, it's gonna be delicious. We're gonna start with a little bit of oil, a lot of butter. You know why you add oil and butter? So your butter doesn't burn. It sounds like a bad joke, doesn't it? This goes fast. That's 1 onion, white, red pep, caraza. Let that go for about 2 minutes. Already smells insane. This dish normally comes in a pan, you know, it's time to party, and like 80 shrimps, 50 lobsters. My main memory of paella, I proposed to my wife in Miami at Jose Andres' restaurant. Restaurant's called Bazaar. Came out in my own little pan like this, fresh crema on top, huge rock lobster, truffles and everything. Boom, I would like to say that won her, even though I don't make it. It definitely won me. Could have been the last good paella I ever had. Shout out to Jose. Paella is a great dish, a celebratory dish. I don't expect people to actually make this at home, but if you do, it just means you love to cook. A little saucy. This is my kind of cooking. I like to have all my stuff right here so I can just party and kind of get lost. Dried red chili. If anything, it's like a morita pepper. It's gonna add smokiness to your dish. Grating tomatoes is definitely a Spanish like thing. They'll heat up bread and hit it with olive oil and garlic, just like rub it. Then they grate tomatoes right on top of it. Literally one of the best dishes you could ever eat in your life. In goes my rice, just 2 cups. 1 tablespoon tomato paste. In goes my garlic. 1.5 cups of white wine. Cook that wine down. Let that wine hit the starches of that Valencia rice. Short grain rice takes on like acidity very well. Let this go. We're gonna cook it down. Then we're gonna add some aromatics. 1 pinch of saffron. We reduced it. Watch this. We're gonna hit it with like a tablespoon of paprika, 2 cups of stock, I'm looking at the creaminess of the short grain rice. Now we're gonna add the rest of the stock. We're gonna turn down the heat and let it cook. You got some cream coming out. Your rice is creamier than it was before. Hi. I'm gonna take a grain of rice, just a little. The thickness of the pan will make things evaporate so quickly. You gotta keep your eye on it, you gotta listen. You hear this though? Trust your senses. The mouth of the grain opens and accepts more liquids. Clams take the longest to cook. Put them everywhere. Remember, you're putting this on the table. You're not plating this for anyone. You're just sticking it on the table. Mussels. I'm putting the butts in because that's mainly for presentation. So they can stand up when they open up. They'll go, ha. Let's go ahead and add the shrimpies. Go ahead and add our beanies. Mussels are already opening. It's a fast dish. Turn it on the low. Super low, dude. Because right now, we're letting that rice finish on the bottom, all that steam push up, cook all your protein. And the way we can trap all that in and kind of stop it from burning, put a lid on it, let it go. 10 minutes, turn off the heat, get your garnishes ready, get your plates ready, turn on some music for your guests, let's eat. Oh yeah, come on in, we're about to eat. Oh, ja-bing, ja-boom. This is the ideal paella at home. Little garlic aioli. You can make your own garlic, smash into a paste, lemon juice, mayonnaise. That's what you want. That's paella, garlic aioli. The best thing about paella is whatever flavors you put into the rice go into the shellfish. Once the shellfish opens up, all the aromatics from the shellfish go into the rice. Bro, I'm gonna brag for like a weekend. I'm a rice king right now. Today was lit, dude. I got to cook my favorite grain 4 different ways in 4 different regions. Let's have some fun. See you next week, homies. Take care of yourself, take care of your heads. How do y'all do these dances? All those girls that go to Louisiana State. Let's get ready, guys. Oh gosh. Shit. Oh, hold on.